Not to show their faces. The CBC's Nala Ayed traveled to India for their story.
Peter, this is the story of a couple who tried everything to conceive. It was an emotional and devastating experience until they heard of an opportunity that promised to make their dreams come true.
You come through the door and your wife says she wants to go to the other end of the planet. I was in shock.
It was definitely a leap of faith. I mean, I've been poked and prodded so many times. I can't even count, but I just say, okay.
Karen and Michael have been to the ends of the earth and back to have a baby. They tried everything, and at times it seemed everything was working against them.
It's been hard. Your wife is desperately unhappy. She's blaming herself, and I want to make her feel better, but it's not much I can do.
We tried in vitro fertilization again in November. 2007 was a busy year. In 2008, we tried it again twice, and it just didn't work for me, so.
Then Karen found hope on the internet in a place far away from their home in BC.
Pretty soon I was researching a few different hospitals, and next thing you know, I had it down to one clinic and had an appointment.
Oh, of course I thought it was nuts. I still think it's a little nuts. We've gone to the probably the exact opposite side of the planet, to a country that we don't really know anyone.
We want a better future for our kids. All we want is our kids to go to a good school and become have good careers.
Kamla lives in poverty in Ahmedabad in western India. She's a mother of 4. Together with her husband, they bring in about $75 a month, making borders for saris, dreaming of a better life.
We were not well off, so this woman met us and told us that she would help us get some easy money, and that is how she guided us into the entire surrogacy thing.
9 months of her life to try to lift the family out of poverty. Now Kamla is pregnant with twins that are not her own.
Since I've had 4 deliveries earlier, I do get a little tired sometimes. This probably is taking a toll on my body. But since I'm carrying kids, I just feel like a mother. It doesn't matter whose kids they are.
There's the little face with the little arm.
They will be Karen and Michael's kids, so very much wanted. There's still so much to do. The nursery needs to be painted, the crib set up. The house needs to be baby-proofed.
Part of me is still wondering, is this even real, or am I just dreaming? But part of me is getting very excited.
They made the trip to India last summer. They were given the profiles of 2 women, and they chose Kamla.
One of the women just seemed like she really had kind eyes, so that's actually how I picked, honestly.
We had a talk, but basically what we thought was that even we have a problem and they have a problem. We need the money and they need the kids. So it worked out well for both of us.
Kamla will get the equivalent of $4,500 Canadian for being a surrogate, a practice that's illegal in Canada but allowed in India. Like Karen and Michael, Kamla too wanted her identity hidden for privacy reasons. Every month she gets a checkup at the clinic that arranged it all. Dr. Himanshu Bhavisi is the owner. He selected her from among many others who are recruited by middlewomen he knows.
We take the surrogates who have mothered adequate children for themselves. We don't take ladies who are unmarried or they've never conceived or something like that. And the one reason is that she will emotionally not be involved in the baby. She has her own enough babies. She knows what is pregnancy.
It's a thorny subject that sparks debate. And yet every day there are more clinics here offering surrogacy and more women volunteering to carry babies for others. Ethicists and women's rights advocates here find it all contemptuous.
What happens to her body? What happens to her psyche? What happens to her mind? Nobody has bothered. There are no counselors. There are no counselors. Nobody. She has no right to speak out. She has no right to express her agony. And that we have closely observed.
Here, it's not an organ cell. Lady doesn't give away anything from her body. What she gives away is a bundle of joy to somebody else, which belongs to somebody else. So I don't think the exploitation is a correct word.
It's not happening among the equals. It is happening among those who are economically weaker. They end up suffering. And it is happening like in an assembly line. No, it's happening at a mass scale. In every slum there is a hunt. There are agents, there are procurers of such women. Most of the money is taken away by the middleman.
If Kamla feels exploited, she doesn't say so. She says she's made peace with giving up the twins in her belly. But she does think about them, their future, and what they will be like when they're older.
You've kept it in your room for 9 months, and it's difficult to part with the kids then.
The way that the Vichy hospital usually arranges things is that the surrogates generally do not even see the babies when they're born. We're trusting that the hospitals did their due diligence with all their counseling and everything for our surrogate.
So when emotions surface, Kamla focuses on why she agreed to do this.
We just think about the kids. The prices are increasing and we don't have enough money, so all we think is that our kids should be happy.
Karen and Michael, too, are thinking of the kids, their kids. In the end, it will have cost them $30,000, far, far less than it would have cost elsewhere, and a small price to pay to contemplate these pictures. They often think of Kamla.
It drives me crazy not knowing. I'd like to know all kinds of things, what she's doing, how she's feeling, what she's eating. I really wanted to be pregnant myself, so that part is a little bit sad for me, but they're still our biological children, so I mean, I'm going to be happy with that.
Every girl wants to become a mother. So all I think is that, when she gets the baby, she should be happy.
The twins are due in mid-January. They have to have a DNA test and get birth certificates before they can go home with their parents to Canada. At this point, Kamla says that given the financial reward and despite the emotion, she would do this again. Peter.